because your love for each other, you know.
Well, he proposed to me on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Well, I got to tell the whole truth because she proposed to me for Christmas. And I never said yes. But when we, for Valentine's Day, we were having a little Valentine's Day party for a bunch of kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we had set up like a game of charades sort of type game. And they weren't really, you know, getting into it and understanding or whatever. So I said, well, let me show y'all how this works. So I went over to the hat and I pulled me out a little piece of paper, and he didn't say what I did, but so I said, okay, well, for this I'm going to need a volunteer. And I went over and I pulled her up to the middle of the floor, and I spun her around, and I dropped down on one knee, and I already had the ring in my hand, in my pocket. I pulled out the ring and I popped it open. I said,
Oh!
So, she was speechless for a moment or two.
And the kids kept yelling, he's for real, he's for real.
I think that was a big thing too when I felt for you, because I'm sitting there and I was like, you know, somebody's got to go tell his wife. And then when I found out that y'all had 4 kids together and we have 4 kids, just some of the similarities, every night I was just going to bed and I was just thinking about y'all. Y'all were on my mind.
Horrible experience.
I was asleep for 7 days.
Wow.
For 7, the wreck happened on a Saturday.
I'll show you the pictures of how bad the leg was if you're not skittish.
And I woke up on a Sunday, but there was a solid week in between that.
Wow.
That was the day they cut it off.
Sure.
Wow.
Now, they took Randall's belt off in surgery, correct?
No, they took.
Yeah, maybe like in the
That was
surgery
the
room.
first surgery Saturday. This
Yeah,
was
that's
the
what I'm saying.
Thursday,
The belt was on until you went into surgery at Grady.
I'm really
I believe
not
so,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, because I know that's what we had heard.
So were you at Atlanta Medical Center the whole time, or did
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm medical.
And you finally got out when? February
The
the
6th.
6th.
They did the amputation on the Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was severely broken. It was broke right here. The whole knee was shattered. This bone right here was split in 2, which severed the artery. It was broke here, 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 and here, and then his ankle was completely shattered.
We found out actually how he was doing through his cousin is an EMT.
Oh, okay.
And she was calling and finding out, you know, what was going on and letting us know, giving us updates. Okay, the femur was broken and everything, so we were just getting all this trickles of information, thankfully, from her.
Is she the one who finally connected you guys?
Well, it was a group of people, actually. There was a lady named Shelley that my mom, that we've known, family friends or whatever, and she is friends with their pastor. She was one of them. I was getting information from her, and then his cousin that's
And
the
the
EMT.
pastor's wife kept Facebook.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
and me and pastor's wife have become Facebook friends, and so I was keeping up with statuses through her. Facebook is a wonderful thing. I mean,
for stuff like this, it keeps everybody, and it saves the family from having to make all those phone calls, and you just put it out there, and everybody sees it and share that way. So you guys have 4 kids, and you guys have 4 kids?
Yes.
How old are all the kids?
Ours are teenagers. We have a 15-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and an 18-year-old.
Twins?
Well, no,
We have his and hers.
we have a little Brady Bunch.
Okay.
If you remember the old show.
Yeah, so they had instant. So the 16-year-olds the same age. That's crazy. That must have been how long?
Well, one's a girl and one's a boy. So
Yeah. How about you guys?
we have a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an 11-year-old. Yeah, back to back to back.
Lyric's 3.
Lyric will be 4, and
April.
well, she's 3.
April's our anniversary.
When is y'all's anniversary?
April 6th.
Ours is April Fool's Day.
Wow.
Oh, really? Got married on April Fool's.
Yeah. There's just similarities that are here that just cannot be
I
denied.
picked April 6th because that's the day he came and spent the night with me and never went home. So that was the day I had to be.
Yeah.
And so you tell me you work over on the Alabama side of the line here? You drive in Alabama?
Yeah.
Not far from here, I don't guess.
Yeah,
Well.
it's like 70-something miles.
Yeah.
Where?
70?
Yeah, 70.
You got to drive 70 miles one way
One way,
every day,
Yeah.
morning and night.
Mhm.
Wow.
But he loves the job.
Yeah.
Loves it. Loves it.
That's the
That
job.
means a lot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you enjoy your work, then it's really not that much like work.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he was a diesel mechanic, and the company, we were actually going on our anniversary vacation, and we found out he didn't have a job. We
Oh,
were
wow.
out of
Never
town,
get
and
back without a job.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, horrible. And he was out of a job for a little bit, and some of our friends said, you know, he's got mechanical abilities. Try this. And Caroline Handel, they actually paid for us. The vice president of operation paid for us to go out to dinner, our whole family.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought it was really, really
Yeah.
neat. Really neat.
And so how long have you been there now?
7 months. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you guys do? You work right near where he had the accident there?
I work at Kangaroo.
Oh, you work, so literally right there.
Like right there on
okay.
the
So
corner,
you were
like-
right there.
Right
Wow.
And he had just left me.
Mhm.
So he stopped in just to say hey and go on his ride.
His phone was dying, so he stopped and got my car
okay.
charger because his motorcycle had a.
Had a little charger.
And I have a Bluetooth in the motorcycle helmet.
Uh-huh.
And
where
I can
if
call
I'm
him.
out riding, and she can call and
Yeah.
tell me, you know, or ask me where I'm at, when I'm going to be home or whatever.
So he had stopped by to get my charger. And he had just left.
Did you think anything when you heard the sirens?
Well, we don't ever hear sirens because we have wrecks in front of the store all the time, and it's so noisy out there, you don't hear it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And that ambulance place, you know, it's right across the
So
street.
you
The
hear
gas
sirens
station.
all the
leaving
time.
Yeah. And when the helicopter was going overhead, the helicopter showed up before the ambulance actually got there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I seen it circling overhead, and I was like, well, I guess they're going to land that at the ambulance place.
Uh-huh.
And they sure enough did, so.
They had sent me, I went down to where he was at, and I got to talk to him for a few minutes.
So you were
And-
conscious the whole time. then?
Yeah.
He was
so-
coherent. I mean,
Completely
Yeah.
lucid,
I
no
talked to
head
him the
trauma.
whole time. Then he, you know,
So you were with him right up until the ambulance?
all the way to the ambulance.
Yeah.
And the ambulance guy said, okay, we've got to take him to the ambulance parking lot.
Uh-huh.
You have to go meet the lifeline guy. So you go up there now.
Yeah.
And
So did they life flight you with him then?
no,
Put you
they
on-
did not lifeline me
They-
with him. I had to go home and get my Garmin so that I wouldn't get lost and drive.
And drive to...
They were originally taking him to Grady.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
that was something that was odd, you know, because
They'll go
Well,
to
I'm-
both. I don't know how
I'm-
they decide
I'm
sometimes.
self-employed,
Uh-huh.
so I didn't have any health coverage.
Okay.
we were in
So
between.
that was
looking.
one of their deciding factors on where they were going to take
Really?
Because I guess that Grady Memorial is, you know, they you know are more prone to take
Take
a
care-
person
yeah.
with in my situation. So they were originally going to go to Grady, and when the helicopter lifted off and started heading that way, when they got me in the helicopter was when they gave me the first pain reliever.
Uh-huh.
I remember when the ambulance guy got there, and after she had left, I said, "Guys, do you have anything for pain?" And the ambulance guy, I didn't know that they were life-flighting. So the ambulance driver said, "Well, yes, we do, but the guys that are coming in the helicopter got stuff that's a whole lot better."
You better off
He
waiting
said,
for that.
"We would highly recommend if you could wait just a few more minutes if you
Uh-huh.
would do that." All right, that's what I do. And, so I remember when we lifted off in the helicopter. That's which, by the way, is a very odd feeling. I'm not
Oh,
sure
I bet, yeah.
if it was a combination of the medicine starting to take
Right.
effect and the
And the blood loss, and yeah.
but yeah, it was a very peculiar feeling. But I remember there's the pilot, and then the other guy it's like he was facing me, like directly, like sitting like here, directly over my head. And he was talking and messing with the buttons up there for a second, and then he looked down at me and he said, flight plan change, we can get you to Atlanta Medical Center in under 9 minutes. And then he did another one of those painkiller things, and I was like,
So were you conscious all the way to the hospital till surgery?
all the way to landing,
Uh-huh.
and when that, and just a few minutes before, if I remember correctly, 3 different times he gave me whatever it was, that,
Right.
whatever it is that they use. I was conscious and coherent until the helicopter landed, and I remember the door opening, and then everything just drifted off into black, and I don't remember anything at all until, and now like I said, this happened on a Saturday. Sunday morning I woke up, and but there was a whole week in between.
Right.
That everyone was, you know, praying and worrying, and all the doctors doing their work, and
You had a whole lot of people on your side, right?
Yeah. She had a tough week while you were taking a nap.
she definitely did, and I'm so grateful for her and her strength and her, you know, desire to stay by my side and want to help me through.
And our church, every
Our
day
church,
that I was gone at the hospital, our church brought food to our kids.
Oh, that's great.
You know, ours are old enough where they can take care of
Well, we
themselves.
had a friend staying the
We had
night
a
with
friend
them.
who
Oh,
was
goodness.
helping.
Every day, our church brought something to our
That's
kids.
great. Well, we really appreciate you guys taking a couple minutes to talk to us. We're going to run and put this all together. It'll be on at 10 o'clock here in just